Hello, this is the BenBinFro Thought for the Day for Wednesday, the 3rd of May. And the reading is from Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verses 12 to 22, and I'm reading from the NIV. Fear the Lord. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in obedience to him, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to observe the Lord's commands and decrees that I am giving you today for your own good. To the Lord your God belong the heavens, even the highest heavens, the earth and everything in it. Yet the Lord set his affection on your ancestors and loved them, and he chose you, their descendants, above all the nations, as it is today. Circumcise your hearts, therefore, and do not be stiff-necked any longer. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. And you are to love those who are foreigners, for you yourselves were foreigners in Egypt. Fear the Lord your God and serve him. Hold fast to him and take your oaths in his name. He is the one you praise. He is your God who performed for you those great and awesome wonders you saw with your own eyes. Your ancestors who went down into Egypt were 70 in all, and now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars in the sky. Well, this is good Torah type stuff in the heart of Deuteronomy. The text laying down the law in no uncertain terms, and if you get it wrong, you will feel the wrath of the Lord. However, when I first read the passage, I was struck by something slightly different, and something I found a little surprising, as, much to my own ignorance I'm sure, I was unaware of such passages anywhere in the Old Testament, and far less in the Torah. The key verses are 18 and 19. The Lord defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. And you are to love those who are foreigners, for you yourselves were foreigners in Egypt. Now, I was aware the Old Testament considers the Jewish race to be special, and that non-Jews are not equal citizens. The Torah identifies various privileges for Jews only. For example, there are rules in place concerning the eating of carcasses. The meat is deemed unclean for Jews, and interest payments. Only foreigners may be charged interest. However, there is empathy and a requirement to care for such foreigners in this passage. The foreigners are loved by God and thus should be looked after sufficiently that they can survive. Foreigners are not just to be thrown out and ignored. This requirement to treat everyone, foreigners and Jews, with kindness is of course expanded in the New Testament to give everyone equal rights, to use modern phraseology. Specifically, Paul, in his letters, and especially in Romans, stresses that being Jew or Gentile is not a factor when welcoming new people into the Christian church. So, the equality between races that Jesus and Paul taught can be shown to have been in part derived from the Torah and was not something they created from complete scratch. Some acknowledgement of the potential goodness of foreigners was already documented and shown in the Torah. Well, that concludes my thought for the day. Thank you for listening and have a good day.